Hello. So a lot of us grew up in homes where we are not given the skills that we need to function as adults. And people get upset with you for not knowing how to do the right thing at the right moment, but you also don't know how you could have done differently. Now, coming from an experience as for me as a person, as Damali, I remember when we were growing up, we were basically raised to follow the cultural norms or the school norms, but you're not necessarily given individual skills as an individual, as a person to know how to function in society. So a lot of times when you hear people saying that you need to work on your mental health, you need to work on your skills, you don't even know what they are talking about because you're thinking, well, I'm an adult and that's what I know how to do, without realizing that in life, there are certain skills that you need to have in order to function better in relationships, in working environments, in different spheres of society. And today I'm going to talk to you about learning to accept things that are not necessarily in your control. Sometimes you all run into problems that are simply just out of your control. For example, you may have a job situation where your boss is asking you to do something that you definitely don't want to do, but at the same time, you know that they are paying you and you can't get out of it. And you don't know how to tolerate that distress that you're experiencing. So I want to help you to know how you can develop skills about distress tolerance without feeling that you always have to quit your job, because we all know you're going to feel distressed in many environments, whether it's at home, whether it's in your friend relationships, whether it's at work. But you need to know how to deal with tolerating this stressful moment without feeling like you're defeated all the time, because you can feel like this is not fair. I shouldn't be going through this problem. Even if we know that when we think of these situations, the way we think like that, we just make the pain worse and worse and worse, because we are mostly thinking, I just need this to go away. I just don't want to deal with it. But we all know life is not fair many times, but we also have to know how to tolerate or how to deal with distressful moments. So today, I'm going to talk to you about the skill that they call radical acceptance. Radical acceptance refers to a healthier way of thinking during these circumstances. So instead of focusing on how you like something to be different, you're going to recognize and accept the problem or the situation as it is. Now, when you're accepting a situation, it does not mean that you're condoning it or you're liking it. You're just realizing that I cannot do anything. This is not necessarily in my control, but I'm going to accept it for what it is. It's not saying that what happened is okay or that you're not giving in or giving up. You're just acknowledging the reality so that you can measure up your psychological and emotional resources so that you can be able to accept what is in front of you. So, for example, if it's a job situation and you feel like you're being taken advantage of, but you still know that you need that job, so you're going to learn how to tolerate that emotion. Sometimes when you're dealing with those emotions, you feel like you're angry. So when you're accepting these problems that are not in your control, you're wanting to know how to feel less anxious. You're going to learn to feel less angry or sad when you're dealing with those situations. Because the typical thinking is like, this isn't fair. I did everything right, and they can't do this to me. Or I'm so frustrated. I didn't get the job that I wanted. But at the same time, when you're accepting that reality, you can accept the fact that, you know what, maybe I have room to do differently. Maybe I have room to grow. And at the same time, doesn't mean that me being frustrated is a wrong thing, but you're just accepting that it's not in my control. So, what are some of the ways you can tolerate those moments when you're in them? There is a skill, an exercise they call grounding. So, when you're grounding yourself, you're trying to bring your emotions to be calmed or to be soothed. So, you're basically using your five senses: vision, hearing, touch, taste, and smell to come to relax, to kind of soothe. So you soothe yourself using your senses. So, for example, instead of fixating your mind onto what you could have done, maybe you can walk out of the office if it's at work, or maybe you can go to another room if you're at home. Maybe you can go for a walk somewhere so that you can see different sights around you, as opposed to just being in the same space that is causing your distress to be heightened. Or you can allow yourself to use your hearing senses. You can soothe yourself using your hearing by listening to some enjoyable music or listening to nature. For those of you that are lucky to be around oceans, you can go to the ocean and just listen to the ocean sounds and just be able to soothe your hearing senses with something enjoyable to listen to. Or you can use your touch. You can touch by, you can get a massage. Sometimes you can take a warm bath. Sometimes you can get a hug from people that love you or you love. And you could also use your taste. Now, some people go overboard with testing, but they overeat and numb the pain of distress as opposed to actually just enjoying the meal so that you don't have to feel like you're just eating the emotions away of distress, but you're actually testing something that is distracting your emotions from feeling like this isn't fair. Or you could smell something that smells good. You know, you can spray a perfume or cologne if you like so that you don't feel stuck in that distress moment that you had experiencing. Now, a lot of times, these are not things that you're being taught at home, but people will laugh at you for not knowing how to do it. So as a counselor, this is one of the things that really touched my heart because I remember I used to make these mistakes in relationships. Even to this day, maybe I'm still growing in my journey, that you'd rather let a person tell you to your face or help you to know how to deal with that situation differently as opposed to someone going behind your back or cut the relationship off without, because you didn't have the skills to handle that moment. So when you come to counseling, these are some of the things that we can equip you with so that you can be more advanced in your skills, in your relationship, in your emotional intelligence, that you don't have to feel stuck all the time. So if you like this video, you can like it at the bottom, or you can subscribe to this channel, and you can visit me on my website at forerunnercounseling.com. For more information, you can subscribe to my website or to my newsletter so that you can get the updates that are going on. And I'm looking so forward to coming back here every week to give you one skill that you can learn and take away. So this week, we're gonna help you to learn to tolerate distress. So even moving forward, you can just figure out, like, find those moments that really make you go into that bad mental space. So this is not fair, this is not okay, and practice to tolerate radical acceptance so that you can be able to use your skills to self-soothe so that you can tolerate that distress. So I hope this is it is helpful to you, and I'll see you next week.